Sharks, where?
Does the idea of sharks near the city scare you?
Who's scared? Sharks? Nah, sharks don't scare me. Bring them on. I'll show them who's scared. Ah! I'm gonna die. I am gonna die.
Why did you do that?
I'm sorry.
No. Sorry is when you step on somebody's fin at the movie theater. Yeah, that's sorry. Sorry is when you say, hey, when's the baby due? And it turns out the person is just fat.
Hello all you wonderful gaming pals and gals out there, and welcome back to the show that looks for games from the past, the present, or sometimes even the future and decides what their judgment is going to be. I am your host once again, Gamessnia, and welcome to the Gamessnia show. And hey, out of everyone here, who here loves animation? Like, I love animation a lot. I actually think it's a lot better than a lot of live action TV shows because there's just things in animation that gets done better. You can tell better emotions, especially from the way animation is done, and it's just so much better to watch, and it's so much better for the actual people involved. I mean, there's so much opportunities for aspiring actors and aspiring artists and directors to get involved in these projects, and it doesn't even have to be big people, it can be small people, and it's just an amazing experience for those people and for all the other people out there that actually watch it. It's actually really enjoyable, and I just think it's much better than live action, you know, because there's only a good amount of stuff you can do with live action, and there's a limit to stuff you can do, and you know, there's some things you just can't do in live action because one, it might be just impossible, or two, it just won't work as much. But in animation, you can do anything, whether it be so many studios that want to do it, you know, people like DreamWorks, Pixar, or even Aardman. And granted, there are a good amount of bad animation movies out there that can seem a bit insulting to the genre, where hard work is appreciated as much as it is in animation, but I find it less critical genre than actual live action shows and movies. Like, if a live action series is bad, or it's maybe reception is negative, you'll find people actually bashing it the holy living hell out of it. But apply the same notion of story to the animation side, you'll actually find people aren't that very harsh on it, which just shows the love and respect people have for the animation. And that is the whole same story for me too. There are stuff I will admit are terrible, but don't bash it. I just either turn my head away from it, or maybe just say it's shit, and I let it be that, and that's the end of it. But there's one animated film out there to this day that I hate and would never want anyone to go even near of watching it, and that is DreamWorks' own Shark Tale. Like, just imagine you are DreamWorks. You have one of the greatest sequels to one of the most breakout animation films of all time, to then having the same guys announce a Mafia Godfather-esque underwater-styled film with a cast of Will Smith, Angelina Jolie, Renee Zellweger, Jack Black, Christina Aguilera, Martin Scorsese, Ziggy Marley, who is the actual son of music legend Bob Marley, who plays a Jamaican jellyfish, and to top it all off with a nice little boat at the end of it, Robert fucking De Niro. I mean, that's a dream cast right there. You have so many talented and famous actors contributing to an animated project. Like, you maybe get lucky with maybe one or two big people in an animation project, but really, Shark Tale broke the boundaries with that, and it's probably got the biggest cast of actors ever to be featured in an animated film, and yet, it's so shit. Like, how is that even possible with a cast like that? How? It didn't have to be great, just good enough to get by, but no, the film is one of the biggest wastes of animation I've ever laid eyes upon. Probably the only time I've actually hated Will Smith in a movie, and yeah, Will Smith has been in a good amount of crap in his time, but I've always kind of enjoyed his roles, even though I didn't actually like the movie, you know, with the stuff he's done like After Earth. But after watching Shark Tale a couple days ago, I think it's safe to say that the game is the only good thing coming out of it. I mean, come on, I had my times with this game. I remember those days. It was a simpler time, in fact. The midway point of primary school, making my way through Shark Tale, dealing with the teacher's shit, being bullied for my SpongeBob teeth statement I was making back then, along with my cliche loser geek glasses, having 10 people there for me that actually didn't laugh at me. But fucking hard to forget if you ask me. Fuck, I remember this. I mean, I'll try and forget the terribly photoshopped menu screen with all the poorly placed PNG rejects from the movie. I mean, come on, this just looks like poop on a plate. But I remember this. The look on the menu, the random newsstand that seems out of place, and the catchy drop beat rhythm, all to complete this cute little combination to start off our game. But I venture into the brand new sea life of Shark Tale the video game, and this beauty, the DreamWorks animation intro, an exquisite, timeless masterpiece of moving art. The strings, the orchestra, such delicate
I'm gonna die! I am gonna die!
Hey guys, it's Shark Tale! And guess what? It's a shark! With possibly the slowest shark I've ever seen in my life. And I should know, I know somebody who's fought a shark in his lifetime with no scuba diving gear and lived to tell the tale. But hey ho, it's the first mission, so let's give it a whirl. Oh fuck yes, that's what I'm talking about. Take that, you urine scrote. Oh my god, he's stuck. Yes, die. Be seafood, you animated atrocity. But that's just more like it. None of these stupid, silly chase sequences that are bred for juniors. I'm a man, so I need side-to-side swimming? I mean, I would say platforming, but can I really say that considering Oscar doesn't have any legs, therefore can't jump, therefore eliminating the very definition of what a platformer is? Yeah, fuck it, we'll call these sections swimming to destination sequences. Wait a minute. So if you haven't guessed it already from the first 3 missions, that's how- That's how fast these missions pass. They're just as long as the fucking side quests in Yakuza, and this game has its hand in delivering a lot of different styles of gameplay, like the chase sequences you just laid your eyes upon, which trust me, do get much better, and the side-by-side swimming sections, which thankfully enough is your major part of the game in terms of gameplay, and does do its best job to sway away from it to keep the variety going that little bit more, which is a good thing because this side-by-side stuff is really not the best thing I've ever played. Quite the opposite actually. You're gonna think I'm pulling a leg here as it really doesn't look that bad, but oh my god, this movement is so damn fidgety. It's simple enough really. Push the analog stick in the direction you want to go, push square constantly to move around much quicker, and besides a few instances where speeding your way through it will ultimately kill you or heavily damage you, example, these death trap prickly sewers, my main problem is with the charged attack used to take out enemies. Now, when this attack actually lands, I absolutely loved it. The enemies go flying towards the screen that for the first few times it happened, I just about flinched because of how they went into my TV and how close I was actually sitting to my TV. But trying to actually land it has like a 50% chance of connecting, like I'm not even joking. Look at how much hassle I'm having just trying to hit these anglerfish, who are big and puffy mind you. Look at this. I don't actually understand why it's not working. Having trouble with these big bloaters is trouble enough, so imagine how taxing it is taking out small, tiny individual piranhas when there's a whole level dedicated to them later on. Yeah, nah, I'm good. Just speed past all that. There's no shame in doing that other than a few bonus objectives you might miss. But oh my god, I've gotta say, this game, it's just all memories for me at this point. Like, especially this level right here. Swimming through the city with Wipeout playing in the background. And look, I really hate Shark Tale with a passion, but everyone has to admit, even myself, that the soundtrack in that film is so bloody good. I mean, I guess that's what makes you hate the film even more, I guess. But ooh, a door. Probably a health pickup point.
Oh, thou stranger, I have promised thou many sweet things to please your palate.
I'm sorry, what? Did Oscar just get fish sticked? Did he just get his fins twiddled? Did he get his one and only coral felt up? Did he just enter the deep part of the sea? He did! He got the big one!
We have seaweed pancakes and syrup on the table, friend.
This is a game for kids. Yeah, ages 3 and up, mind you.
I like how they don't even try to tone this down one bit.
Come on in. Have a nice meal of boiled water. Does that sound good to you?
Like, Oscar just enters a room as quickly as possible, like he's desperate for a fish acting up all sexy and alluring, with then Oscar having love hearts around his model upon leaving, like, come on, you horny bastard. At least try and hide it for all the poor wee infants at home. And I mean, I think the worst part of it all is I've went through so many doors at this point, I've kind of gotten used to listening to this dirty fish remarks. Like, I get it. Will Smith was a bit of a player in the Fresh Prince TV show, but this is a DreamWorks animation game with kids as the main demographic. This is exactly why kids like Bad Barbie and Little Tay exist. Like, who the fuck names their kid that?
But you know, all things are going well so far. You maybe just need to calm down a bit with the modes, you know, because there's a bit too much and we're already
No, we need more modes for classic innovation.
Okay, but we're on the 4th mission, so isn't that... Shouldn't we slow things down first before we get there?
It's fine, the kids will love it. More modes and enjoyment for everyone.
Oh, okay then, you're the boss. What next then?
Well then, do you remember those rhythm-based games that everyone hyped up back in the day?
Yeah, absolutely. I remember those. They were great. I actually really enjoyed them. You know, Rock Band, Guitar Hero, Dance Forever. Oh no.
Yep, a dance section. Oh, yay! It's not a PS2 game after all, without a mandatory rhythm-based game, you know, every kid's worst nightmare. It's funny as well, because I actually remember vividly hating these sections as a kid, and I still don't like them. I mean, there is a reason why a lot of people got sick of these, and it's not because they were boring or they sucked, it's because the developers were so shit at programming them. Like, I really wouldn't mind if these sections actually worked in terms of control, because, you know, that's kind of an important thing. You're supposed to press the buttons when the prompt appears in the circle, you know, like you're supposed to do. But because of the input lag, you have to push the button slightly before it appears in the circle, which can be so off-putting. I don't understand how you can get 100% in any of these sections. There's bonus missions for success rate, and one of them is to get 100%, and even the beginning one, I can't get that. And a thing shared along with the races as well, which are really fun when you get the hang of it, is the instructions given to you by Mr. Narrator Krabs over here is so terribly inaccurate at giving you basic instructions. Like, what the fuck? This guy right here is somewhat your tutorial man, but he gives you such minimal instructions, or you can give you info that is just straight up incorrect. Perform 10 power slide boosts? What the fuck are those? I wasn't told that.
Later.
Press the brake button while turning to build boost for a power slide. Let go when you're ready to fly.
Oh. That's what power slide boost is.
This is the second last mission.
Like, this guy tells me to use buttons and directional arrows at the same time for when we get multiple button combinations in the dance sequences. Well, no, don't do that, because you will struggle heavily. Use multiple buttons like square and X together, and don't press at the bottom of the circle. Push them before they are in the circle. Do not listen to this crustaceous cock of a sea animal. I just hate these dance bits. They are so infuriating to get through. I just want it to be done more than anything. I don't even like this song! Like, even in the race sections, like I said earlier, I absolutely love them once I started to get into it and understand how it works. Controls are a major issue in this game. I mean, fidgety, awkward controls, input lag on modes that need to be accurate, and honestly, one of the most embarrassing things I've ever seen in my game lifetime, the stealth sections.
Here he is. Here he goes. I got you. There he is. Ready to go. Sykes is gonna kill him. Hey, Oscar. Close along.
You serious?
Back to the old classic side-scroller though. It's honestly the only thing I can really fully enjoy in this game. Even though levels do feel small, they do actually have a lot to them for a game as little as this. Just the way everything is placed and how certain boundaries are set, including clever shit like this. I mean, how could you not love that? But other stuff you have to pay attention to, such as going through the whale wash, pretty annoying and difficult, but look at all what's happening here. It's stuff like this from platformers that mean the most to me, something at every corner and crevice to look out for, so you're always on your toes. It's this and maybe the later level where you have to find Angie's lost pearls, which Dick Cheney over here decided to sell in the movie for gambling purposes. This is our main character, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not even joking though, the amount of stuff that this fish trashes in this level, no, sorry, game, is definitely deserving of the jail, mind you. And hey look, he's even a pedophile.
Oh my goodness!
No, sorry, didn't see a thing.
I even love this level, going up 3 sides of a building and dealing with a lot of well-timed swimming bits and accomplishing some satisfying destruction and collecting smaller pearls, which I forgot to add has probably one of the most satisfactory processes when collecting a group of them, especially in these little bubble variations. God, I just love this level. It's tiny, but something like this is exactly what I wanted from a Shark Tale game, considering how most of it so far has been a disgrace of the disgrace of animation that shouldn't be disgraced in the first place, as it's an undisgraceful thing overall, so therefore must be disgraced for disgracing a very undisgraceful thing. I mean, it's gotten to that point where I'm not even caring so much about the bonus missions in this game, and I fucking love bonus missions in a game, but this game just makes me not want to bother with any of them, which sucks big time. Like, look at that, just the bare minimum done with me not fussing too much over it. I mean, they don't really help you that much anyway, they just increase your popularity more, so you can unlock more extras in the menus, such as new tracks, artwork, environments, and additional FMVs, you know, the standard stuff in any video game, and it's normally something I give a crap about, but because it's Shark Tale, well, nah, that's it, because it's Shark Tale. But it's funny, the more I realize this, the more that I actually get into it. I've been playing this level for quite a bit now, and I'm just realizing that this Bad Boy song has been on about for repeat 4 times now, and the more I hear it, the more wrong it's starting to sound. In fact, a lot of the songs do that. I love the songs in these levels, but that's kind of it with the soundtrack. The song plays from start to end, then just restarts itself. Like, it doesn't loop at all. It just starts, ends, then pretty much skips back to the beginning. It almost feels like they put the TV on mute and chose one specific song from their iPod and put that as the level and left it on repeat. It's finally done. Just in time for the movie, the game is finished and every single level has been dusted and looked over, and this game is going to be absolutely perfect for the kids. Now just to add finishing touches to this game. Now, I need to find the composers. I need to get soundtracks in there, you know. I could hire a composer, you know, to do certain level soundtracks. Maybe a little jazzy funk to it, maybe a rap to show the coolness of the wave, maybe a synth wave to show how cool the sea can be as well. You know what? No, I've got a better idea. I'm gonna get songs from my iPod and I'm gonna put them into the game. You know what? I'm never gonna loop them. I am going to put them on repeat, the repeat button on this iPod, and that's gonna be what's gonna be in the game. What's good songs? Bad Boys. That's a start. Oh, also Wipeout as well. Oh, so many in this. This game is gonna be amazing. I mean, it is kind of funny with all the things in this game that are quite questionable to me. Like, why with a movie where our fish character is scared of sharks, why is he up here fighting hammerheads and eels so much to the point it's like another day job to him? Why are we posing like this in photographs? Ooh, you okay there, Oscar? You got a little something there on your end of your tail. Fin! It's a fin. In fact, why are we even taking photos in the first place? Why are we gonna fail a mission if we get spotted by the camera 3 times? I mean, I kind of get it for escorting Lenny because he's Jack Black as a shark and he takes his sweet ass time, but that's no. Wait a minute, hold the fuck on. How is that wide old black and white vegan vasectomy bastard able to fit into this hole here? How? Wait, how is that even vaguely possible? Like, how? Like, even the other parts, like the tiny holes he gets. How? How? Honestly, the logic has been severely, heavily questioned by this point. That could just doesn't make sense. I don't get how you can go from point A to oh my god, how the fuck did you get over there? How in the holy mother of God does a shark that big get into a hole that small? What the fuck? Like, this game is weird, and a lot of what makes it just not make sense to me is, like, certain bonus objectives just don't seem to get accomplished, despite me matching the requirements needed for them. And a movie about a fish that's a nobody to a lot of people, or so he says, but yet my man is dancing with many random fish, gaining their approval on the streets, stopping vandalism in the streets as well, which helps the police, and cut down on the activity on fish thieves all across the reef. Like, what the fuck? How is that a nobody? And how the entire game can't just stick to just one flowing thing? Like, it jumps from one gameplay style to then another one that seems like the default normal style, only for it then to jump to a completely different one of a dance-off, and then to jump to an unexplained race section, then a little bit after, a little bit of a stealth section, which are so laughably bad to even call it stealth. Like, Jesus, can we stick to one style for just a bit longer than 2 missions, please? I mean, the mission types we already have in this game, well, let's look at them. Let's give a little quick rundown of them all. Shark chases, while very pandering and simplistic to start off with, they can be very fun to try your reaction skills, especially the last one. Oh, mummy daddy, that's a bitch of a level. Sea races, despite poor explanation in the tutorials and a rocky start, once you get the hang of it, a very enjoyable and satisfying way to properly fully complete in all its bonus missions and chain all the power slides together to get ungodly speeds. Dances, while the first 2 are fun little sequences that do motivate to try and be better at them, they are the epitome of wanting to off yourself in a video game with poor direction, poor controls, awful timing, and just straight up being lied to in the tutorials. Stealth sections. Side-by-side swimming. Honestly, the highlight gameplay mechanic in this game, but doesn't really offer anything special to gameplay-wise, other than just, well, pretty much on what everything I said, and I don't really want to repeat myself on that. And something also to add, extremely iconic catchy song. We are all aware are amazing songs to listen to, even when they are forced on the repeat button for that one level. Oh, but we still have one more type of mission in this game, and there's a reason I have not included this in the video. And yes, you guessed it, it's not a good one. Ugh, God's sake, let's do this. So in these fight sequences, you are pitted against this one enemy, mostly a shark, and you both have 3 bars of health, and whilst dodging attacks, you have to deal combo moves to drain the enemy's health, and when you get the chance, deal special combos and super moves in stun mode when you have attacked your enemy enough, which will do double damage, and this is something that will fully keep you on your toes and be a rearing fun challenge for anyone who wants to get through these stages. And guess what? They're not. I fucking hate these levels, like, more than the dance sections, and I really don't like them. You're meant to dodge a lot of these attacks, but you have such a small window to dodge them that I really end up guessing on what way to dodge, and a lot of the times I got hit because of this. And also add to the fact that when you do dodge, sometimes you have to keep dodging the flurry of attacks before an opportunity to get hit can even arrive your way. And even then, it'll only be 1 hit, which is barely enough damage when considering the amount of punches you need to throw in order to win. Oh, and there's this final bullshit fight with Lenny, which in the film is meant to be a staged fight to trick the public into thinking Oscar is the Shark Slayer, but was single-handedly my breaking point in this game. I mean, look at this. This ain't fun. The amount of tries I had to retry this shit. In fact, I had a whole recording session worth 1 hour, and all of it was just this fight particular, trying to pass with just trying to get the basic objective, not any of the bonus missions, just passing the bare minimum and passing on to the next level, and it took over an hour of me struggling to dodge, struggling to even get a single punch in after dodging as well, and I fucking hated it. But oh my god, it was just a travesty. That was terrible. I never want to go through something like that again. And thank god there was only like, I think there was three fight sections in the entire game.
and even then it was just a bit too much. Hell, that last fight I actually remember playing as a kid, and I remember it being really difficult when I was a kid. But I was a kid, and I thought, you know what? I'll come back to it. It's probably gonna be piss easy. When no, that's just not the case at all. It's infuriating. I spent nearly 1 hour and a half on it. Like, it was a good hour of recording I did for it. It was ridiculous, honestly. And it's not really a bad game as well. Like, a lot of the stuff I've said, and there's been a lot of like mixed bits here and there, it's not a bad game. Yeah, it's great. It's a good game in my opinion, but would you recommend the movie over the game? No. Absolutely not. I would never do that. I would never recommend anyone that animation travesty. The game is good, and it's honestly worth a little look at and a little shot, because it's honestly something that actually is enjoyable in small bursts. Not a lot of enjoyment is in there, and there's a lot of problems with it, but you know what? It's a little burst of enjoyment, and I think that's the best way of looking at it. But thank you all for joining me in today's broadcast of the Gamessnia show. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope you found it quite riveting, even though it was just me just going on about fucking Shark Tale game. You know, it's one of those things that we have to look at. But I hope you enjoyed today's episode regardless. And until the very next Gamessnia show episode, guys, I will see you all in the very next broadcast of the Gamessnia show episode. And until then, guys, Gamessnia, as always, signing off.